terrible. Easy. Send the money and we will bring back. The paper we buy red, they release to the people and paper for too far for the people. But selling for don't give a chance. Selling for buying the paper from here, carrying a salary. Now I say by 13,000 for a breast bag. Send that for the money, far for getting a bag. Send by here. When was it? I think that's if I get profit. You got to buy one say, far for getting a bag. I'm far for that on the air. I didn't pepper who say, they didn't buy no business. And some of our children are sending to school. Some of our parents and their children will all our happiness because they both parents die. They will not say, will not get money to send the children to school. Although now you read some and some, yes, sir. Because of the place, they didn't buy it.
Police from the House of Representatives, given what they have seen,
has been following with eagle eye some great concern of threatening issues of allegations against some of our government officials. And as a national chairman of the ruling party, it would be a great disservice to all the partisans across the nation to remain silent on issues of this nature. As the press has been flagging the issue of corruption, I want to say here that an allegation against Minister Amin Modai about the METEC sponsor luxurious vehicle he claimed that was purchased by the LRA for the use of the Commerce Ministry is deeply concerning, not only to partisans, but Liberians as a whole who have been hoping that this government will going to lead our country into national transformation. While it is true that as a party we do not question
colleagues from the House of Representatives giving what they have seen in terms of
transition courses. Cross that speaks to the Christ. Situations forward. Congratulations, Justin. You want to know the story of our life? You want to know the story of our life? Keep the food on my Chama, use the food on my to the
the country will be new after 6 months. And because John Square was new after 6 months. Roads were being constructed. After reduced salaries. Members of the press, are aware of the distinction, visible sign of productivity of a company in landlords. MOUs, 3 billion from China. I signed a 2.5 billion swap deal from China. So you walk in my playbook. We are signed. 2.5 billion China. That doesn't mean that the money came. Let's stop deceiving the Liberian people. Let's stop using misinformation and propaganda and optical shenanigans to impress the Liberian people. And I will speak directly to the Liberian people tomorrow.
I'm the co-chair for recruitment and mobilization of the ever-potent Pan-Africanist political movement on the campuses of the University of Liberia in the avant-garde progressive alliance of the University of Liberia. Members of the press, today we are here on 2 major issues. We are here today to transition the party. In the post-transition, the overall chairman will have to make an official position as a relates.
Viva, chairman, go chairman, viva.
He will be making an official stand as it relates to our country. So by so doing, let me use this time to recognize the outgoing chairman, who is the most powerful man on the campus of the University of Liberia now. In fact, this chairman, honor his leadership, the youth student community has experienced what we call leadership in leadership.
Yo, complementation. Yo. Baptiste, you got a Darren. Yo. Viva, global chairperson, viva.
For the fact that this chairman is here, transitioning the party in a well-constructed and conducive atmosphere, it justifies that the avant-garde progressive alliance of the University of Liberia is a democratic and egalitarian-based political institution. So not to procrastinate most of our time, let me invite on this podium the outgoing chairman, in-chairman, Jara Wale Mukwewe, representing Jara Wale Mukwewe.
Long live the fighting on dinosaurs, madam.
Viva! Yo! BND leadership, yo! The joy of leadership, yo! I'm following your trail, your marathon, yo! Act of Nathan!
So remove your beret. Remove your beret. Because in the midst of our chairman, we are zero. Yes. So against the background, let me invite this political Heka Sophia, the powerful man in person of Chairman Jara Wale Mukwewe. So honorable chair, you have my honor.
Manda. Viva, chairman, viva. Long live,
So thank you ever so much. distinguished audience and members of the press, the youth and student community. This afternoon, I bring you greetings from the cradles, from the Congo, and from the Mecca.
It is Spoon to Spoon, Spoon Radio Station, Spoon Television, the Spoon Network. This is Spoon. This is where we bring you the news. This is where we talk Liberia. This is where we bring you the analysis around the issues happening in the country. This is where we bring you the updates and, of course, afford you the opportunity to have your say on those different issues of national concerns. I'd like to say welcome. Thanks to everyone tonight. Thanks for joining us from across the world. And across Radio Land. It's always a pleasure having you on, and in a space like this where we can talk about Liberia, where we can share our ideas, share our thoughts on the different issues in the country, where we can talk about the forward march of our country, where we can express ourselves and share views on the different issues in the country. So welcome to the show. I'm Nelson Colette. And this is the late night show, the late night politics on Spoon. We are live across the internet tonight, as always. Kindly share the program as you come on. It's going to be a great show. Today is Friday. And here in Liberia, we've already entered the next day. It's Saturday already. And I'd like to say welcome to everyone. And I'm going to move to the comment section shortly to recognize a few of you. But let me bring our co-moderator, Moba Zoka, on. The man who's coming in tonight like a pilot, you know. I don't know which airline or whatever my guy is with tonight. But Moba, welcome to the show, man. It's good to have you on. Well, is it the Boeing 737? Boeing 737?
we boarding to Liberia from Brussels to Liberia.
Brussels?
Yeah, from Brussels to Liberia.
So somebody told me, they said, but when you say mobile coming in a pilot, what do you mean, Nelson? I said, you will not understand. But mobile is coming in like a pilot tonight.
I know.
Like a pilot, you know?
Of course.
But mobile, it's good to have you on. It's good to be here again on another weekend. I think last evening. Were you here last evening? No.
I was here yesterday, man. You young, you keep forgetting, my man. Young, my man. No. No, listen, age, listen, right? Listen, our age come with a lot of things. Number one, you can forget. Mm-hmm. Like sometimes you do things, you be like, oh my God, I forgot. Like you don't know, just somebody remind you. So when you aging, these things happen. So I want you to be in that category because you stay young.
No, but what makes you think that? Look, and this is the thing, Moba. Everyone, no matter how young or old that person is,
but it's not like
we're all aging every day, Moba. We're all aging every day. No, okay, so you want to agree with that aspect?
Of course, brother. According to scientists, they say like every time you sleep and wake up for the next day, like how your left decrease, your weight or left decrease, meaning your time on earth decrease. So based on that,
and trust me, Moba, that's something that most people don't like to hear. Most people don't like
that's the fact, brother. That's the reality. You mute, Nessie. Okay, like, I think that's
sorry. So this is the thing. I attended a seminar so many years back, and the pastor now, he's late. Peace to his ashes, Reverend Apostle Alfred Johnson. That was so many years back. There was some youth summit, some youth seminar, that was conducted, and he said something. He said, for every day we wake up is a subtraction. It's a subtraction from our lifespan.
Of course.
And he said so many people don't like to talk about this. And
of course,
when you say, people say, "Oh, Pastor, don't talk that thing." But he said, "Look, listen, this is the thing."
But that's the
fact. So if take for example, you have your phone, right? Mobile, the lifespan of this phone is 10 years or 6 years or 5 years. Okay, let's take 5 years. So for every day that passes by, the lifespan of that phone is reducing. So it was 5 years yesterday. Today is going to be 4 years, 364 days. The next day is going to be 4 years, 363 days. 4 years, 360 days. Before you know it, in no time, you'll be talking about half of the lifespan of the phone. He said, so
of course. Look, that's all. Look, Nelson, I'm cutting all right. Me and one of my co-workers were working, and he was like, "Yo, man, I'm depressed." I was like, "Why are you depressed?" He's like, "Oh, you know, some people get a lot of issues and stuff." So I decided to cancel him. I was like, "Listen, life is short. Do not put somebody's problem on your head. Think that you can solve. Don't think about it, because look, Nelson, end of the day, no, let me tell you. You see, when you worry, when you keep worrying, when you keep keeping things in your heart, you know what you're doing to yourself? You causing a lot of sickness. You causing pressure. You cause a lot of sickness. Nelson, just think about it. You just sit and you just put things in your mind. You just keep thinking. I told you. He said you already look happy. Like what the guy told me. I said, but I don't worry. I said everybody get that fault, right? But when it comes to worry, thinking about stuff, I don't. I said, you know what? It's common thing in life. Like one thing, Nelson, I learned, and I will always keep it in my. I will always keep it in my head anywhere I go. That one of the things I learned when it comes to counseling. When I was doing counseling in my college I attended today, right? Every human being in life, there are two hearts you get. One for disappointment and one for appointment. When you get those two hearts, Nelson, if you get disappointment, if disappointment comes, you will know how to ease disappointment. You will move on and you will leave disappointment behind and you will focus on appointment. So if appointment comes, you will face the appointment positively. If disappointment comes, you will able to subdue disappointment. Why they made that disappointment like that? Because
so you are trying to say you disappointment.
No, yeah, that's it.
Mobile, the motivational speaker. Ladies and gentlemen, share the show as you come on tonight.
That's life.
As we try to disappoint the disappointment of
that's
Liberia.
So never worry yourself, man. Look, Nelson, when you get control of, leave it like it go. Anything you get control of, leave it like it go. You move on.
And this is where we are tonight. I want to Mama, thank you.
Yeah.
But Mama is going to disappoint the disappointers.
That's it.
And Mama said George is one of the disappointments. George is one of the disappointers. And he's going to disappoint George.
George, my brother. You know, I think we should do way back.
So Mama, everything you just said, Mama, let's do. We're gonna bring the updates and have the conversation tonight. But with everything you just said, try to disappoint disappointment. You know, that was my takeaway.
Of course, don't never let disappointment overcome you, brother. But George, you bear me witness.
Don't try to buy George over. George is coming for you bigly, you know.
No, but
because you already put George.
But George, my man, George engineering, my man. The man from the engineer department, man. The man out there counseling. When you do counseling, the people will teach you all the stuff, and you will understand how to deal with issues.
And you counsel the guy,
bro. Today that man look at me and tell me, say, bro, I know you just looking at God saving my life. I'm telling you, I made a man understand. Look, listen. One of the things I made a man understand about life. I give you an example. I say, if you scratch your hand like this, right? If you're standing, you get 4 or 5 pedals. Let's say you get 4 standing in front of you, and you scratch your hand. the one your hand reach to, where you standing and where your hand can reach to, you can hold and say, yeah. I said the next one you gotta take step. He said, yeah. I said if the time I reach to take step to hold the next one, will you hold it? Will you be worrying and other things? He said, no. I said, that's how I left looking. If the one you get today, embrace it, move on. The one that will come, it will come. If it ain't come, move on with life. Don't think about what you think. It may not happen or it may happen. Then you know you're giving yourself depression. You make yourself to worry.
Thank you very much.
A lot of things that, in a sense, that tomorrow it will cause you a health issue problem, my man. I'm telling you.
Wow. It's gonna be a great show tonight. I want to welcome everyone. George, welcome to the show, man. It's good to have you on tonight.
Thanks, Nelson, and it's great to be here. Just don't let disappointment or disappoint you. I mean, I won't go. We gotta make sure that doesn't happen. So yeah, I'm here. Let's have a wonderful show, guys.
And we're gonna come back. But again, to our folks, please share the program as you come on. I see Lynn Lacpois is here. Lynn Lacpois says, Mobile, the motivational speaker. Madam Marcia Snelling is saying hi to you, Josh. What is appointment? That's the question Lynn Lacpois is asking. What is appointment?
Let me make the man understand, right?
Okay. Yeah. I know you want to answer the main question, but let's take it easy. Let's take it easy, But let's recognize all the folks here. We're gonna come back to you. You answer Lynn Lacpois. I see Abraham Sako Divani is here tonight. Thanks for joining us. Blama Momokoli, Elijah Wilson has joined us. Aaron Gomez Mea, thanks for joining us. You said you're joining us from Burrowville. That's Partnersville. I see Payne Marcus. Thanks for joining us tonight. Soko Kamara Francis Ware is here tonight, joining us from New Jersey. Nathaniel K. Hill is here tonight. He's joining us. Siata Carr has joined us. Moses Momolu is here. Please share the program as you come on. B.N. Howard has joined us tonight from Water Street, Monrovia. J. Mark Miguel is here tonight. Marcus Jasper, William Hand. Thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. I see Elijah Wilson, Charles Deputy is here. Ben Dauber, that's Ben Bobber. Maruf Goba, thanks for joining us. Maruf, we appreciate you. William, yeah. James Vanny is here tonight. Thanks to everyone for joining us. Eric McGill, Madison, thanks for being here tonight. Matthew, I see
Brian Macy.
Yeah, Brown, Macy Mezina, thanks for joining us tonight. I see Emmanuel Dro, Zico Rare. Thanks to everyone for joining us tonight. Eddie Kawa is here as well. Derek Gatter has joined us. Let me welcome DJ Do as well. Thanks to all of you guys for joining us tonight. Kaifa Iyama has joined us. Noosh. He says he's always here. We appreciate you guys. Please share the program as you come on. I see everyone joining us tonight. Ma Mary Finda Numa, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you. Netherlands Wea is here tonight as well. Lorena Dwe has joined us. Thanks for being here. And thanks to everyone. Let's hope we can have a great conversation tonight. Fatumata Masali, thanks for joining us tonight. Hassan Cooper is here as well. Thanks to everyone for joining the late night show. Yes, please share the show as you join us. Let's have a great conversation. Liberia is all we have. We come here every single day to have these conversations. As it borders on the forward march of our country, it borders on the future of Liberia, it borders on what the next generation is going to inherit as a country, the kind of Liberia we want to create for the next generation. And so that's why we come here every night. We talk about the different issues. We put the the feet of the national leaders to fire to ensure that they do the right things. We commend them where it's commendable. And so this is what we do. Welcome. Thanks to everyone for joining us. Let's go across the table. Let's do our opening. So let's start with you, Moba. What's on your mind just for your opening?
Thank you, Nelson. And my brother Josh, how you doing, brother? And thank you to all our listeners around the world, both Facebook, YouTube, and radio. Wheresoever you're watching us from, we want to appreciate your time. Look, Nelson, we come here every day, we discuss Liberia because Liberia is on our mind. That's where we live, and that's where we were born. Our nervous stream is in Liberia. End of the day, we will always speak Liberia, and we will put our government official to fire, their feet to fire. And when we see the wrong, we will say it. When we see the right, we will embrace it, and we will commend the right. But let me say this. There's a lot of things going on in Liberia. We understand for the past few days, a lot of corruption. And one of the things that came out today, Nelson, where you can remember last week, I think last before week, I was on the show one time. I asked a question: what was the bill bomb for the former finance minister Samuel Tuer? And it come to pass because I was curious. I wanted to know what was his bill that was given to the Liberian people, that people will say, okay, Mr. Samuel gave something. I mean, Mr. Samuel Tuer gave something that cost $8 million.
8 million, the bond. 8 million. You mean what was in the bond?
Yeah, in the bond. But end of the day, we all come here. I said it that day. I said we want to know. Liberian want to know. And today, I think they summon him. And he will be going to at least for a lawyer to explain the bond. I think that show transparency to the Liberian justice system and most especially the Liberian people, because they want to know. I flare this issue because look, Nelson, when we come on the show, we bring a lot of stuff. People don't understand until when they go home, when they watch the show over, and they say, oh yeah, so and so things. You can remember again, let me say this in my opening. When we told Yombi Kanga Lawrence that you should go Grand Bassa, you don't belong in Maserati during the election. She listened to us. We told her to go there, and she went there. She went on public radio and she posted it on Facebook. These are people who want to listen. And we keep calling them to check if they made mistake. So my advice to the government, this government, you got to prioritize a lot of stuff. You got to focus on job creation, electricity, water, and road connection. Because these things help boost the economics. These things circulate the money in the environment and other areas of our nation so that the government can function. Because if the money is not circulating end of the day, what happens? The government will not function because people got to pay taxes. So end of the day, what happens? Things go deplorable and people be like, okay, you know what? That would be the government. The government did, the government that. But for the security sector, the government is 100 times better than George Weah regime. Let me say this tonight. When it comes to the security sector, it's 100 times better than George Weah regime security. Because during George Weah time, we lost all the talk. People who work in government, people who get everything that they need to protect themselves. But end of the day, they were murdered. Today, how many citizens you can see say, we understand. But people, the police director, he doing well, extremely well. He putting people out there on the street to make sure that let it protect the nation. So I think for this reason, this government, when it comes to security sector, they are doing better than George.
So Moba, if I'm getting you, what you're trying to do is to say, to state exactly the areas where the government is doing well.
Yeah.
Places where you think the government is not doing well.
Yes.
And you think when it comes to security, the government is doing very well.
100%. I'm not get 100 because 100 is excellence, but we get something around 85%. They are doing well, Nelson. That is reality be told, like, right? When it comes to the security sector, they are doing well. But when it comes to other stuff, like commodity, rice, and other stuff, the government need to work on providing food for them. So, Nelson, look, we are a nation. We got to sustain ourselves with our food, right? We got to sustain ourselves. You go Ghana, Nigeria, they put yam, cassava, they plenty. But if our government can invest in agriculture for rice, bring machine and other stuff, Nelson, though, let me tell you, in every country, I can tell people, in every country, the economy based on 4 factors. Now we live in a modern world, so we make it 5 because technology included. But when you see security, electricity, job creation, roads, these things, Nelson, it bring investor, security. You get road, you get current, and now because we're in the 21st century, we understand that all over you go, you see internet, people, technology working, nursing. End of the day, these things we need it because in every country where these things happen, what happen? You see investor running there. An investor want to invest somewhere where they can get their money and profit. Where you see business people interacting and stuff. So we will always call the government fees to fire. If the president listening to me, I will always advise him for the right thing because end of the day, we all here, we want it better and the right thing for Liberia. Thank you, Nelson.
Thanks a lot. And someone is saying that telecommunications should be included as well. And all of that. But Josh, let's hear you, man. What's on your mind? Your opening?
Thank you, Nelson. Look, Nelson, we said it from the beginning that this government was out for witch hunt. And I think because nothing is happening, they've done nothing other than fighting in offices because all the guys came for was money and position. And that's why they are basically fighting for positions, fighting in offices, fighting in every aspect. But they want to make news on the former finance minister, Mr. Tuer. And I think they have the disease from this.
What do you mean? What do you mean they want to make news on the former finance minister?
Look, by inviting him for the death of Bate Nyinswa, for inviting him, for also applying at the court to review his bill, the money they said, according to them, the asset that he put forward to guarantee the bond, had different people named as owners of the properties, and all these things. It's just completely for me.
But Josh, isn't it fair enough for the court to review the bond? So that if you, Josh, for example, had an issue and maybe you are taking the court, you went and filed a bond, isn't it prudent enough for the court to review the bond, to do due diligence, to ensure, because the essence of a bond is to hold something as a guarantee.
That's correct.
Is there someone being your guarantor, so that just in case you escape or you don't come back, they can use that thing to at least be able to address whatever, especially in this case of indictment of so many millions of dollars, then that money can be used to at least address some of the issues. Though it's just a drop in the ocean. It's not even up to 10% of what we're talking about.
Yeah, look, Nelson, you're right. But here's the thing, Nelson. That falls under the jurisdiction of the court to look at the loan to see whether it complies with what should be the bond, the guarantee behind the bond. So here's the thing, Nelson. For the fact that the government is going to apply to tell the court to go and check what the court's supposed to do in itself, for me, it's a far reach. You know what I mean? The court will get the bond and study the bond and see whether the bond is compliant. But this government is applying to the court that the court should do what the court's supposed to do. To me, they are just trying to make a storm in a teacup. That's the whole thing. That's how the white people call it, making storm in the teacup. I mean, just making noise where there should be no noise. That's the thing, Nelson. For the fact again that these people invited the former finance minister again for the death of his friend. For the death of his friend.
So Josh, let's do this. We had this on the plate the other day. We couldn't go into it because a lot of other things we had to address. But let's do this. We're gonna take it one step at a time. Let's zero in on the bond issue first. A bond is filed. The judge approves the bond. The court decides to review the bond. After the approval of the bond,
that's the prosecution. The government, when applied, I read the entire story. They applied to the court for the court to review the bond. That's the government, not the court doing it. This is the government applying to the court.
And let's do this. Let's do this, Josh. the bond in the first place before the approval, even from the judge, should be reviewed before the approval. So if, for example, George filed a bond of 500,000, what is it that constitutes the 500,000? What is it that captured in the 500,000? What's the value of the 5,000? What's the value of the let's say what's the property value or whatever that's captured in the 500,000?
Yeah.
And then, if for any reason the court thinks that, okay, we review the thing, but at this point we think that, you know, we have to take a look at this whole bond again. Maybe they observe or notice that there were some issues around even the ownership of the properties or whatever that is being captured or presented within this bond. Don't you think it's prudent for the court to have a review of the whole thing here? Because this is like a guarantor for you, the individual.
Yes, Nelson. This is simple, Nelson. That falls on the jurisdiction of the court. Because this bond, let me tell you, if you and I have a problem, if I go to the court, right, and sue you for owing my money, and then you say, okay, you know what? George say I owe his money, but the money George say I owe is not true. And since you say I will run away, you hold this money or you hold this property or you hold this, right?
Yeah.
That is the court's own power they can use to check to see whether this bond is correct or not correct, you get me? And they'll revoke it. But in this case, the government is applying for the court to review the bond. You see it? That what makes it sees that they are witch hunting this guy because he's not going anywhere. He's right in the court. Guess what? The first file or application that he should not leave the country. He accepted. He said, okay, I will remain in the country. These people, because they want to put this man in handcuffs, they want this man to be paraded in yellow jumpsuit. Now, all they are I don't know when it happened, the people will be hungry, they will not be hungry in Monrovia anymore. What when it happened, people will start buying in the market. I don't know. But the fact that these people are just bent on making sure that the man goes to jail, and I don't know what is stand to gain because it's completely crazy. How will you already
start the a precedent, George?
No, let's give George a time.
Yeah,
we're gonna come back.
If you want to set a precedent, just go and put Grisby and put him in jail for using the taxpayer money to buy a car for you. Then you set a precedent. But if you want to do this one, it's witch hunt because the man is not going anywhere. He said, I want to defend myself. I'm here. I want to stand to make sure that this case is resolved because I did no wrong. Now you say, okay, since you came back now, you're not going out of the country. The man say, okay. Then they say, okay, since you're not going anywhere again, let go. The bond where you saying, they say somebody money inside. Not only all the money where inside the bond, not your money alone. So we want to review it. You are just making a lot of confusion without any iota of strength in your argument. You're just responding this man.
So let's do this. Let's do this. I will come to you more, but I know you have some points to make on this issue. But let's do this. The government took over in January of this year, and even before inauguration, one of the things that this current president emphasized over and again was that the government was going to take on the fight against corruption. The government was going to ensure, and there is this famous interview that we've played here over and over that was conducted with the BBC. When the VOA, that interview was with the VOA, when the president said that they will make sure that people who manage state resources will be made to account for their stewardship. That the fight against corruption was not going to see a partisan. The fight against corruption was not going to see, your friend, my son, my daughter, and all those kinds of relationship issues. That he was going to separate government from friendship or relationship. Now, Josh, don't you see this as an implementation of what the government promised to ensure that the government succeeds in the fight against corruption, to make sure that people who manage the state resources can be made to account? Don't you see this as something that is playing out here in the interest of the country and maybe setting the precedent so that even after this government, the next government will take off from?
Nelson, that's not entirely true because this government has already been elements in this government already been engaged in corruption. We saw about $600,000 that was taken from this government covers that was given to the former chairman of the United Party. Now he's still the chairman anyway, Luther Tappet. Luther mismanaged that money. Nothing came out of it. Even the inaugural money that was spent, inauguration, the former woman was not questioned. President Bouaka came and praised her.
A report was conducted.
Yeah, but Grisby went to the pensioner money. He took 500,000 and spent it and bought cars for the president. That too never got investigated. The only person that's being investigated is Samuel Tuwe. Let's look at it on a broad basis. Let's forget about politics. Let's see what is happening here. Why will you not investigate your own people, but only investigate somebody else? That also implies that these people are not looking for the facts. They are not looking for the truth. What they are looking for is to make headlines, to make news, to say, oh, we are fighting corruption. But in essence, they are not fighting corruption. What they are doing,
George, I want us to go back a bit.
And
then I'll bring Moba in. I'll bring Moba in right after this. I want us to go back a bit. Under the previous administration, the asset recovery team was set up. And once the asset recovery was established and stuff like that to go after government fundings and stuff and make sure that, that those who maybe manage state resources or siphon some money from the government can be made to pay back. They said they were going back into the other reports, those different other audits that were conducted, similar thing that this administration is doing.
Yeah.
What we then saw was Bernie Samuka, for example, was being brought down. What we then saw was that Louis Brown, who served as information minister under former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf, was being brought down. He denied. He said he didn't do it. In fact, he said he wasn't honoring the whatever the asset recovery team was doing and then blah blah blah. But we saw folks from the previous administration who were being named. And the former Solicitor General, I remember at the time was what's his name? Councillor Sima Serena Sifa. He said that they will make sure that some big men or big names under the previous administration will be handcuffed. Was that witch hunt, or was it done in the spirit of the fight against corruption?
Nelson,
is that different from what we see happening now?
You know, if you look at the context, right, what had happened, if you want to say you don't want to respect the law, of course, you'll be handcuffed. But it's different from this case. Summit was in Ivory Coast. He got on a plane, he paid one plane ticket to say, I won't clear my name, and comes in the country and goes to the court and says, my people, I'm here. And here is my bond. I'm here to clear my name, and I want to sit here until this case is settled.
Yeah.
Now saying that person is peaceful, that person is not hostile to law enforcement. That person wants to clear their name, give them the opportunity. But if you want to do everything, bend and twist, just the same way President Bouaka, he was bending his back, bending everywhere to remove people from LTA, who himself was engaging in corruption to this day. 6 months later, those people he said that stole money from LTA or wish he was moving from there to put his boys there. Those people he hasn't even found anything against the people here, the immoral, they relaxing. Some of them want travel, they can go anywhere. He accused them of corruption. This man is not interested in corruption, the fight against corruption. This man is interested in putting people in power and making sure that he creates headlines. So it's completely different. Semetua came back to the country to defend himself.
Are you interested in the fight against corruption? Do you want to see Liberia progress in the fight against corruption?
But it should not be.
Do you think this government is on the path of doing that?
No, they're not. They're far away from the
I want us to take Moba. Vasco, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight. Moba, let's hear you. Your take on this issue.
Look, you see, my brother George got love, but he make it. The thing is, if you want to discuss corruption, we all want for corruption to be holistic, meaning it should be like whether you're in the present government, the past government, it should be audited. And that investigation play it rules. Now, but now George trying to back Samuel Twer, and then he trying to implement,
Implicate who?
Implicate the government, rather. Thank you. Implicate the government by doing a
Yes, you're not allowed to help him, man. You're not allowed.
No, but I know the word, my man.
No, the choice of word was coming out. I
know the word.
You know.
So,
Nelson,
so
you're
based
biased.
on that, George, my man, let me talk. Based on that, he trying to be cherry pick. He not talking about holistic or investigation. So end of the day, what you want to say, George, you get no room. But some of us, we got room to say something. You know why? Because when we come here, we always stand on the mantle of truth. We always say the truth and want to be holistic when it comes to corruption. But you trying to vindicate Samuel Twer and lead the other people and say, okay, you know what? Samuel Twer never stole anything. He was free. The bomb he carried, the bomb he gave, it worked. But the people need to investigate the bomb, George. The people need to investigate it. That they not bomb the point. Bomb the point to investigate it. End of the day, if he found guilty, or even the money he's going to spend for that, probably it's not worth for that identical bond. What happened? He go to jail. So we shouldn't come here and say because.
But Moba, do you see this thing as something that is just concentrated on the former finance minister going to jail, or do you see?
Nelson,
do you see a real fight against corruption here?
Nelson, it is the fight against corruption. But what my problem I want for George alluded to before, but I want him to be, neutral when it comes to fighting corruption. But that's the problem we get in Liberia today. People protect their own criminals, and other people, hail their criminals. That's what happened. For me, I'm for nobody. I'm for Liberia. So end of the day, Nelson, if Liberia succeed, we all succeed. So if Samuel Twer does wrong, let him face the law. If all the people need him calling, I would not tell him say that lie or that true. Let it carry investigation. If they found guilty, let it be prosecuted the same way Samuel Twer is prosecuted today, or let it go under the law. That's it. But we shouldn't come here and say certain people do they want and other people trying to cover them. Samuel Twer, the money that was stolen from that country during George Weah regime, it could be another city for Liberia. It could help.
So Mama, we're talking about an indictment of 500 million here. 500 million is half a billion.
That's it.
500 million is no small amount. Mama, do you see the possibility of this fight?
I think when it comes to corruption, it's a show. What the Liberia was a show way. People will just say things and end of the day they let it go. Next thing, if we really want to be serious on corruption, look, let me say this. If we really want to be serious on corruption, that corruption be holistic. Even when my brother Steve, let him face in the full weight of the law. So end of the day, what happens? He go to jail and serve a term for that identical corruption. And what will be? It will be a stigma that he can never. And no, nothing. And the people got to work on the constitution of our country. They got to amend that identical constitution, because the nothing our constitution are trash, complete trash, and complete, making certain people rich and making the people who now have nothing, who go to the pool vote for those lawmakers and president, make them poor forever. Next thing. So end of the day, if you steal, you go to court. If you found guilty, you go pay. If you get houses, the government hold all the horses, confiscate the horses. They sold, whether they want to sell it or they want to rent it, they leave with the government. Then that money go to government revenue. That's how it sort of works. But end of the day, nothing going on. So for me, right, I would say this tonight, for me, the whole corruption saga is just a charade. And secondly, it's not holistic. Let it be holistic. Let Samuel Twer facing the law.
But again, I want to understand more about what is not holistic here.
Because
is it the fact that the government is indicting or has indicted 5
government officials,
officials,
and people in the government carrying the same act, and the
who
government,
are those? Is it fair to say? Is it fair to say that maybe the government is starting from somewhere gradually, because some of the people who are being hooked now were hooked on reasons, on facts, on other reports. It wasn't something where someone just looked in the blue sky and decided to indict someone. No. Pieces of documents.
Let me tell you, my brother Josh alluded to it before. He said they doing the inauguration, right? There was a fund. The people went to NASCAR, took some money, do whatsoever, and do social security fund rather, and buy cars, and today those cars then was like nobody can get and nobody can show what those cars are. So end of the day, like we will come here. Some of us want to be holistic. We don't want to be CDC, United Party people do it their way, so it right, but CDC people do it wrong. That's why CDC lost the election, because at the end of the day, the people they pamper their government. Even when that government does wrong, when we come here, we say we're evident, they back their government. But for us, we that preach the gospel of CDC, of United Party. When we come here, when United Party does wrong, we say it. So in these things, next thing I would believe that the government need to do the audit report holistic. So people who in this government that will be found guilty that to face the law, the same way Samuel and the remaining 5 individual who was found, who need came out doing the auditing and stuff, so they can pay. That's it. But we shouldn't come here and back one side and the other side. That's my point, Nessie. That's my point.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
What George was saying here is just seeing our CDC not store. CDC clean, they do the one that hand clean. So another day when the United Party, so they for don't correct. No. Say that be holistic, but let it go, but don't back Samantha. The thing Samantha did in that country make today.
Let me make clarification.
Let me conclude now. Let me conclude. The thing Samantha did in that country, it made pregnant women today, they honor the ground. It make children who sort of go to school. They sit into their houses, they can't go to school. It made today women who are in pain, they sort of go to the hospital to get proper medication or Medicare or whatsoever. Today, they go under the ground because of Summit 12 misusing our fund, our money, $500 million. It's $500 million. So we shouldn't come here and say
thank you.
And say a lot of stuff. That'll be holistic for the corruption.
Thank you very much, Moba. And this is very important. I want to welcome Raymond. Raymond, welcome to the show. It's good to have you on tonight. And just a quick one here. It is best practice. And thanks to some of the legal minds who follow the show, it is best practice for the prosecution to challenge the validity of any bond. So yes, you can file a bond, the judge can approve the bond, but prosecution can challenge the validity, because this is the thing here. The whole thing here is more about who can put the argument right, using the law as a legal as a backing to that argument that you're trying to push, and convince the judge. What's the logic in the points you're pushing? Okay, so Josh and Vasco are on two separate sides. Maybe Josh has Josh took someone to court. Vasco is trying to defend himself, and Vasco went and filed a bond, and the bond can be challenged. So I just hope we can take that into consideration as well. Let's hear Vasco on this issue as we try to make a quick transition here.
Thank you, Nelson. Let me say hi to our listeners and hi to you guys on the show. So, you just hit the point I was about to speak on. Mm-hmm. So this is a legal matter. And sometimes when my brother Moba speaking, I really don't know where he can be speaking from. He can be speaking like to say, this person committed this crime and the person has been guilty. So you just jump on and start calling the person what he did. People die from this, people die from that. Oh, just the law. And you're doing criminal, I think you're doing criminal justice. So you're supposed to know the law. You are presumed innocent until you have been proven guilty. Then if you can say that they may committed the act. What is happening over there is just between the lawyers. The state prosecutor, they say, okay, we don't say if I already born at 725. So we challenge it. They will go facing 712 lawyers. Look, I can tell anybody, so long Samuel 12 left from out of the country to come to Liberia to facing this case, you can hit the sky, you can come down, you can put him in jail illegally and do any kind of thing. Samuel 12 will beat this government in court. If I am guilty of any crime, I will not come to that country to face that crime. Other people did it, they stay in exile.
So are you one of those who was advising the former minister to stay away? You know, because a lot of people advise.
Nothing. Not all advising. We say he should come to clear his name. That's what Sedition was saying. The former president told him come down. And
you think he made a mistake by coming down to clear?
No, nothing. I'm just telling you that once this man came down to Liberia to facing this government, I don't do anything correctly. To facing this government in court, he will beat this government face down. Somebody got the best lawyers you can think of in Liberia there. They were in. That's just another vlog, another waste of time. They own. Because the guys that represent Samuel, they know what they're doing. Challenging the bond, just because they put Sada and start giving us an idea. Oh, what makes Samuel take $8 million from? But Samuel legal minds, they know the issue. They will not go over there to go get something that don't have any value. Now, see, this is a big case.
But Vasco, do you see this as an honest fight against corruption? Is this something that the government should be commended for? That she can go after people who manage state resources to get them to account for their stewardship?
Now, see, when you say we should commend the government, that's an honest statement. How can you commend criminals? You want us to start listing?
When you say criminals, what do you mean?
The entire government. This is a government.
No, but Vasco, you just said you said every other person is a presumed innocent until proven guilty in the court of competence. Have you taken those individuals to court, giving them their time in court, and maybe any court brought them down guilty as criminals, like you claim?
Now, who's supposed to take Luther Tapet to court for mismanaging the campaign, Miata family? When the president of Luther Tapet, Miata family, when the president of the country can come and sit down and say,
there's no need for you to say.
Great job. He did a very great job. The woman who made him doing that program almost passed off. He passed off, I can say. But he can't impress the woman. Luther Tapet, who is the chairman of the party, that was given money by this same president. He went and mismanaged the money. Nobody know what he did. We don't want to be taken to court. When you sit down right here, you watch the minister of state. The president did not even take CD. He not in no power. He went into 500,000 from Noka.
So Vasco, all of what you are saying, all of what you are saying,
do you have a document?
Has not been presented in court.
But
these are all allegations.
These are not allegations. These are
I just used the logic you tried to push, right? The logic you pushed in the case of former Minister Twe is that he's been indicted. He hasn't been brought down guilty, and so Mobile was wrong to call him to have said that he did.
So it
What he
got
did
him, yeah.
led to people, blah, blah, blah. But now you come back to say the government is a criminal government. So that's why I'm asking you, have you done due diligence? Did any court bring hand down a guilty verdict on any official of this government, especially some of those individuals you just named?
Nelson.
If so, then where do we stand? Maybe you want to take back your previous comment.
Some matter don't need court. Once you come out to admit that this is what you did.
Okay, which matter don't need court?
They found your house in Grace Bay. In need court. They got document to show that this man went and took this money. This thing we discussing got document. Miata formula case, you know about it. The president said will set a committee to investigate the matter. And everybody knows Miata formula the one who received all of those money. Okay? So, then he came back after with any investigation. He now waited for the people to come out with their findings. He just came out and said the woman is a good woman, the woman is this. So who's going to court? Nothing. Everything these people doing about 12 because 12
okay, so Vasco, just before we move to Raymond, what I'm getting from you is that when it comes to the Miata family situation, when it comes to the Grace Bay situation, it needs court. But when it comes to the Samuel Toy situation, it needs court. Before anybody can say that he did this or he did that, it needs court. Is that the point I'm getting from you, Vasco?
Nelson, there is a difference. One person is in court, the other person didn't bring it to court.
That is simple.
No. Josh, don't help your brother.
Different things.
Listen, Josh, let's have this. Vasco is man enough to defend his point.
Josh, leave it.
Vasco is saying a lot of stuff here from two sides of his mouth.
As long as everyone's guilty.
No, I try to, Nelson, listen. I try to make it simple, but like you guys are not understanding me. So let me put it this way.
Okay, put it the
simplest way. Listen, when the road go to the house, sometimes the road don't touch your thing. They just see it. Just because you see the road in your community, what they can do with the road? Maybe the road just enter your family, but you ain't nothing.
That's not my case.
And you beat that road because what? You have been caught on site. So Grace Bay's issue is not something that in court. Nobody took Grace Bay to court. Grace Bay's thing is clear. He went to Doka, he requested for the money, and they gave him the money. They got documents to show that Grace Bay took 500,000 from there, which of course he was not even Minister of State. You want to sit on the big platform again? You know?
Nobody got to go to court, no matter what. What are you talking?
Who carry Grace Bay to court now?
Thank you, Vasco.
Who carry him to court?
Thank you, Vasco.
And I see government and went and stole the money. Their government, the anti-corruption in the country get issue with Grace Bay.
Thank you. Vasco, I want to hold you there, Vasco.
Today, Moda on an investigation.
Moda use more than the money he's supposed to use to buy a vehicle.
On an investigation today.
What kind of
So guys, Moba, you are interrupting the show. Vasco, thanks a lot. Let's move to Raymond. Raymond, please go ahead.
Thank you, Nelson, and greetings to my fellow panelists and to all our listening audience everywhere in the world. And I will pardon our fellow seditionists. It's been proven beyond all reasonable doubt that CDC is more a cult. And court members, courtists, are not rational.
Okay, so Raymond.
Nancy,
the comment about CDC being a court is your view. It represents your view.
Yeah.
Okay,
as much as I know,
it's an insult to us. Let him retract it because we are on the panel. He cannot insult us. Let him retract it.
CDC is a political party. I don't know the CDC to be a cult.
But you can be like a cult.
Right? But do you sometimes forget that you're the
no, but I'm trying to back my brother Raymond, but that's true. They be like a cult. That's it.
Wow.
What do you go jump with guys.
Guys.
No,
Guys. I will have to mute you. Let's give Raymond his time to make his point. Raymond, please go ahead.
So a court member or a courtist is an individual or group of people who follow a belief system and are considered fanatics, either individual or a belief system. For them, there is no gray area. It's everything that person. My two brothers here, I've never seen any fault in George Weah. And there's no excellent individual. So from every position of rationality, anyone who hails someone and idolize that person, they are a cult member.
We're not talking
A cult
about George
member,
Weah
not
here.
insult.
Are we talking about George Weah
They're
here?
not insult. Everything about CDC to the extent that there's no corruption in the country because no one in CDC is capable of corruption. That beats every reasoning, anything called rationality. Anyone who can put for that argument, they're irrational. Nothing wrong can be on my side. That's not a rational position. And let's talk about
the court, the prosecution.
Let's talk about where we are. So this argument that Vasco is giving, flip-flopping, can't even define anything. Nothing meet any definition. Once it's CDC, that definition doesn't hold. But when it's on the other side, it holds. Our allegation has no substance, but just a claim that a wrongdoing was done. But an indictment has a great weight. Why? In an indictment, evidence has to be presented to a grand jury. And that grand jury that consists of legal minds have to determine that there are sufficient evidence to carry out a conviction before an indictment takes place. Samuel Tuer has been indicted. So using rationality, Samuel Tuer has been proven to an extent of committing a crime. It's just the proceedings that is awaiting him. But the evidence against him are strong enough to indicate that he has committed a crime. Unlike all the other allegations could be, flimsy allegation can be whatever, until you can go into the gravity of the details, the evidence, and which we do not have no privilege of. And talking about the legal proceeding, the judge isn't there to prosecute anybody. The judge doesn't prosecute. That's why they got a prosecutor in the court who has to bring the evidence and have to argue based on the rationality of the law that this person must be held liable. That's not a judge's place. The judge is meant to ensure that there is balance and everything that is said is backed by law. And the proceedings are accurate within the confines of the law. That's the position of the judge. So it's not a judge's position to indicate the validity of the indictment. Of course, the judge could reject it based on some, confines. But again, the prosecutor is the one making the allegation. It's the prosecutor who took the case to the court. It's not a judge who went and phone case in the marketplace and said, Samuel Tuer will be hearing a lot of things about you. You got to come to my court and answer. No, it's the prosecutor. They took the evidence. The judge didn't go about sampling evidence, gathering evidence against Samuel Tuer, taking the audits and looking into it, reading what's there and brought Samuel Tuer to the court. No. So, in every sense of rationality, that's the proceeding. And thanks for saying that out. So, my brothers here will only argue because they are part and parcel of the CDC. Anything about the CDC cannot be wrong. CDC is in the God status, and they are worshipers. And so, all they can do is to hail God, God, gods. For them, CDC and everybody in CDC are gods to them. And all they are mere worshipers. So, everything that will come out of them here will just be mere worship.
Nelson,
so we can understand which position they're speaking from.
Some issues.
So we're gonna give you 30 seconds, George. But just before that, Raymond, do you see this as an honest fight against corruption? With everything that's happening now, the government drawing an indictment against 5 ex-officials of government. Are we seeing what the government promised here coming to reality? How do we separate this? How do we distinguish it from, the quote unquote witch hunt that a lot of people will talk about? How do you defend the position that, look, this is not happening because these people are from the previous administration that was just defeated, that had an opposing political view to this current administration? I mean, let's hear your point on that aspect.
So Nelson, when you say a lot of people, your statement is not accurate. Those who call in the government effort are seditions, and they are the ones that categorize as cult members. I lack all the basis of rationalities in their argument. Every Liberian, honest Liberian, understand that corruption has been one of the reasons why we stay among the least developed country, among the 5th to 8th poorest country in the world, irrespective of the abundance natural resources we have. Valuable resources, namely, we have rubber. The Firestone plantation in our country produce the Firestone tire and other products. The Firestone tire is high grade. So well, a lot of money to buy Firestone tire and ride on your car. You got to have some money. We got iron. All of the machines and vehicles are made around the world that are bought with a lot of money. Iron use. We got diamonds. All of the jewelry and the bling bling that we see people doing around the world, they spend a lot of money from. Some of them come from us. We got gold. We know the price of gold even in Liberia. We got timber, iron ore. We got timber in our bush, log. We got marine species. There are ships on the sea there harvesting our marine species. What's happening to our people? We do not have roads. Plain and blank corruption. If we do not fight corruption, then let's embrace poverty. Let's allow ourselves to be the least developed country and nothing happen. Let's allow ourselves to be slaves. Because we enslaved to those who are stealing everything. We saw 6 years of CDC. What became of Liberia? Abject poverty. People can't even have health care. The education system, we see children sitting on the ground in rural parts of Liberia trying to seek education. Should we sit aside, put our hand between our legs, and allow these good-for-nothing individuals come and steal everything from our country, get rich overnight? Samuel Tuet today can afford $8 million bond. Where did Samuel Tuet in his lifetime work for $1 million? How?
Thank you, Raymond. I want to hold you there. Let's give 30 seconds around the table, and then we will have our transition. Let's take mobile 30 seconds.
Yeah.
George, 30 seconds. And then Fast will be next. And
look, Nelson, we want the best for Liberia. All of us, we understand that a lot of time people come to power to see if the government probably want to put an end on corruption. We are baking them because during the campaign, our main campaign topics, one of the main topics we talked on was corruption. Let it be holistic. We want the government to succeed. We will not blow and bite. We want to be straight. Samuel Tuet will go to court. If he found guilty, let him bear the full weight. But I see people on the show today who saying, "Oh, Samuel Tuet not be indicted because they." But they're indicting other people already. And you can't come and correct somebody and then you contradict yourself. That's what I say. The difference between seditions, reactions, that's a reaction, and people who speak, like people who speak naturally, like people who understand the merit of this whole conversation and the government, they will speak holistically. We won't come here to say because Unity Party, so we should hold our hand. Unity Party, no. Don't investigate Unity Party, no. We will always say investigate Unity Party. But also don't forget, investigate CDC. That's all we want. Because the only way to stop corruption is to see key government official going to prison and their husband confiscated by the government. So it can be given to the government, so the government can be any revenue from it, probably put it on, make it a ministry or rent it as government property. Money be coming to the government, that's okay. But end of the day, let the government generate revenue from those property. That's it. We won't come here to say United Party is 100% correct. CDC is this. CDC not that. No, they all got a fault. But end of the day, we want for the both party. We want for the president to be neutral and carry on holistic investigation when it comes to criminality, when it comes to corruption. That's all. But see people here backing CDC and throwing United Party under the bus. Then you say you patriot. What made you patriot? What made you think you love Liberia? You don't love Liberia. What my brother Raymond say? That court. Because no political party you'll be joining. You put leaf to your mouth, you cross from the gate to the party. I challenge them for that. I challenge them for that. On the CDC.
Moba, thank you. Thank you very much.
I'm speaking with facts.
30 seconds. 30 seconds. No, I'm 20 seconds exhausted, but I don't know. I don't know of the leave to your mouth aspect you're talking about.
Okay, let me say it now. Let me call.
I'm not sure these things ever happen.
The late Christmas said he would die. Yeah, let me conclude by saying that the late Christmas said he would die. He put leave to him or he crossed from the gate all the way inside with a photo John to go back to the CDC. On video, go there, go check for it. I will check for it. I go to on Monday, you play. So we shouldn't come here and say this. So when you want to fight corruption, we all understand the how corruption damage nation. So we shouldn't say because CDC do it, so United Party will do it. No, we'll be holistic in it and we'll fight corruption.
I want to hold you there. Thank you. Let's move to Josh, and then we're going to take Vasco and then Raymond. Then we transition. We want to talk about the asset recovery a little. And that will be our next conversation. But go ahead.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. Thank you, Nelson. Look, we all know the tactics, and the tactics that when people don't have points, they intend to insult, intimidate their opponents. We are not here for that. We're here to explore the narrative and let the Liberian people know exactly what is obtaining. I'm not going to sit here and defend myself as a court or not court member. I'm very educated, as my friend will know. I don't care who is the president of Liberia. I will state the truth. And if you call me a courtist or whatever you want to call me, that's your business, man. For me, it's your own detriment because you are just trying to show some sort of ignorance to the issue, to the Liberian people. Because I've come home here and most of the time, sometimes I defend this government if they do something wrong. When the CSA boss did something correct, I said that was correct. You should do it. That's what to do to develop our nation. But because you are part of or you supported someone into power and don't see anything wrong with whatever they're doing, even if they are using a single barrel to kill a fly, you think it's correct, and you said that's a good thing to do for justice. I said it, and I will repeat this. Samuel Tuah came back to the country. No one forced him to come back. He said he's going to come and exonerate himself. He's come back, and he's in the court. He went to the court, filed a bond. The first thing you did, you said he should never leave again unless the court will allow him to go. He said, okay, I agree. I agree to stay here to fight this case. He's in the country. You go to the court again and say, oh, we want to see a bond. The bond he filed. We want to investigate the bond. I think it's using single barrel to kill a fly. Because this man has surrendered himself to the court. He's under the jurisdiction of the court. Why chase after him again? Only because Samuel Tuah is on the airway, telling them the wrong they are doing, the stealing that they are doing, what the emptiness they have brought to this country. What have we seen this government done? Nothing. This government has only able to pay salaries. The only thing they ever built in that country is the road. The road now is damaged beyond repair. It's even worse than it was before. People are sleeping in the bushes, and President Bouaka is showing off his iPhone 16 Pro Max to people listening to him, telling them that somebody sent him a message and said, and they used 3 hours from Hapo all the way to Kakata. Complete lie. I drove on the road so many times, working with the UN, working with different organizations. I drove on the roads, and I know that there's no way you can use 3 hours for that distance, she said. And as bad as that road is, people are using Ivory Coast to go to Maryland, and she was lying. And Bouaka supported a lie, and that tells you who Bouaka is. But let me say this quickly. Liberia is for every one of us. We will defend Liberia against anyone who has come with empty hands to our country and who wants to steal from us and want to prove us to be some bad people because we say something.
Did you say you defend Liberia against anyone?
Yes, we will, and that's what we're doing, and that's what we're saying. That we said justice.
Even in the case of Samuel Twe, you will defend.
I'm not
Liberia.
defending Samuel Twe, and that's why you guys are getting it wrong. I'm just
I'm
asking
you a question for the sake of our audience. I'm asking you a question.
That's why my colleague here want to make people to believe that I am defending Samuel Twe. If Samuel Twe did anything wrong, let him face the weight of the law. That's why he's in the country to do so. He has come back to the country to defend himself. And that's what everyone should do. And everyone should be able to be indicted who committed crimes. That means justice for all. Justice, if justice is denied certain people, it's justice denied everyone else in Liberia. If Gloria Mususka was involved in the death of her daughter and she's free, and that is proving that she actually did it and she's free, that's not justice. If Samuel Twe actually stole money from the government and he's let to go, that's injustice. But guess what? We want justice to be leveled against everyone equally. If Grace Bean illegally took money from NASCO, he should be able to be investigated and indicted just as Samuel Twe was. But if you're going to do it only to Samuel Twe, then we say we are witch hunting because you cannot cherry pick when you're dispensing justice. So anybody here, you can sit here and want to make people believe that we are part of a court and this and that. Look, you are not part of a court. Every night to say the same thing over and over, even though people are sitting. President Bouaka, who said the country is in dire stress, is having problems. There's no medicine in JFK. There's no road. He's using $1.2 million to buy cars. On which road he's going to drive the cars? And you I want to understand something. And you say you are not part of a court, and you want to accuse us to be courtists. That's your business. Yeah, Nelson, go ahead.
I want to understand something, Josh. Raymond made a comment that it was Moba made a comment that when you go to join the party, you put leaf to your mouth and you crawl. He mentioned our late brother Chris Poncelli. I didn't get to watch the video. I must be honest with that. Has that ever happened before? No. Since we own this platform and it's here that the
I saw the video of
it's very important that we clear the air on that before moving in.
I am related.
Why did he put the leaf at his mouth?
I am related to Chris Poncelli, right? And we got a long family ties, right? And look, for what happened with Chris Poncelli at the party headquarters was the first of its kind. I was shocked to have seen that. But I think my brother was more zealous, right? And he did what he did. Nobody brought grass and put it in your mouth. Nobody brought anything to put it in his head. He put the things on himself to show to everyone that he was ready for this and that he was bound into it. He was going to be part of this organization because he felt that the opposition had no reason for lying, taking their body from Congo and bringing it, taking Boss Road from Congo and bringing it to the Liberian Road Boss, taking their body from mortuaries and putting it on Facebook and saying they were killing Liberian people. Those are the things that people saw. And for me, that's what made me even a stronger sedition. Because when I know that one of the things I hate in my entire life, Nelson, is social justice system or the human condition is that people should not lie on other people.
Thank you.
And misleading information about other people and tarnishing their character is wrong. It's a human right. But people live on that. Now that is happening again. That's why I will come here and I will say the truth. When I came here yesterday, I said the airport issue, you cannot blame this government. You cannot blame any government. This is a natural thing that happens, natural disaster. When natural disaster happen, things happen that this we'll say the truth what it is. But what we'll not do is that what will make us stronger sedition is that when we see that people are mistreating us because of the people we call ourselves as sedition. If you want to go against us, it's because I can hear you. You're not muted, but I just want to end this way. I'm just saying that if you want to, if you will make us more stronger, if you want to witch hunt us, you will make us stronger. Leave us alone. Dispense justice equally, and Liberia will be safe and free. Thank you.
Vasco, let's hear you, and then Raymond will take us home on this talking point.
Yeah, I cannot say more than what my brother George just said. To a left from SI, came to the country to facing justice. He's in the country. He's not going anywhere. The only time Samuel Tuek can leave that country is through the judge. You got him already. You have a procedure to carry on November, I think it's in November 12 or something. They're going to be starting the court procedure. Fair enough, guys. See, this year we don't run away from these things. Samuel Tuek said it. He said, I can go to jail if I'm fairly investigated and I'm proven guilty. I'd be happy to go to jail. He said it. Everybody that the government charged from CDC, they are in the country. Stop trying to prove a point that you're so serious for corruption. And this is what can hurt us if we try to do this. It makes us to feel that these people feel they are so different from us. And that's the reason why you saw Sidisha coming out just to celebrate President Weah's birthday. Because the people that are in power, they continue to make us to hold together. They don't learn. Look, let me tell you one thing.
Just to conclude, Vasco.
That's small thing. So,
yeah.
Okay. Now, this is a government that trying to investigate past leaders. Okay? But let's look into their own government. And this is the reason a lot of people say you're not serious. Because you need to start to punish your people. When you punish your people first, and you start to punish your outsider, nobody got nothing to say. The first thing they will say about the people dealing with their own people. So why about your outside? They will deal with y'all. Everybody will go to the law. But since the government came to power, so many stealing, different stealing. Clear thing, and you can look at the person and say you suspended. You can look at the person and say, but man, go sit down small. That will investigate you. But all of these people, they still keep their job. I want to say AB Kromanian who already biology. Now, the real biology, I did the president remember all that at the time, so he took action. Then I mean, Moda is clear that government official cannot get more than 45,000 in a car. Moda make it clear. He say, yeah, you get a car. Getting said, I want a contract to people. We're all going through the procedure. Printing, Amos Tuek, Sylvester Grisby. All of these people still keeping their job. They're working. But you're running after other people.
But tell what Amos did now. Tell, because we know. Please.
Yeah, come to my school, I will tell you.
You see?
Thank you, Vasco.
I'm not discussing Amos Tuek. I'm just telling you.
Thank you, Vasco.
I will hold you there. What it meant did.
Okay, let's go to the next topic.
We have to transition, Vasco. So Raymond, you can go ahead, take your time on this, and then we will have to transition right after you.
I hope you gave me sufficient time to debunk all the falsehoods spewed out by my brothers on the Sacramento tree.
Because he didn't
the court worshippers. First and foremost, Matthew Innes, to show that my brothers are not objective in their analysis and is deeply influenced by the CDC doctrine that is so subjective. And the CDC got a slogan that the party remains supreme, not the country, but the party. So my brothers here have proven time and time again that when they come out here, their talking point is solely and wholly CDC, not Liberia. Anything that CDC is good. Anything outside CDC doesn't make sense. Matthew Innes died in the early stages of the CDC when he was critical about the lost $16 billion Liberian dollars. Worked at the central bank, here the director at the central bank were very critical. Everybody knew about it. In no time, Matthew Innes was full according to state security on the road that a car hit him. But it was state security that took him to the embalmment place. When the family went to go see the car that they said that was parked and he was trying to cross the road, one of his shoes was left in the car. I'm trying to say all of this to say, if a group of Liberians that are not court members will see this kind of evidence and know that there was something wrong, but if they cannot speak about it, all the auditors that died, never from the lips of my brothers, I've heard them being critical and think that there should be closure to these things. It proves that they are obsessed with a thing called CDC, and they see nothing wrong in the CDC, and that not in the scope of rationality. They lost their identity, but then nothing about them matters. Every time they come out here, they're not defending anything that represent their self-value. Or it's about CDC. Once it's CDC, it has to be a wish hunt. Anything about CDC, holding accountable for corruption, is a wish hunt. Make that make sense to me. That's out of the scope of rationality. That's courtism. George Weah can having done no wrong. He can do no wrong. United Party, everything about them is wrong. To the
10
extent,
seconds.
no, bro, you get George 10 minutes here, Vasco 5 minutes. I've not even spoken for
Come
3
on,
minutes.
Vasco was just complaining about time because we have to transition.
Yeah, because Vasco have 5 minutes. I've been observing my time. George spoke for 10 minutes. My brother Baba spoke for 2 minutes.
Come on.
I was there all the time.
Come on.
For me, I want to debunk the falsehood and present to the Liberian people. Start seeing the pattern of cultism. When people come and cannot discuss Liberia from a perspective of being a Liberian, but everything is from the lens of a party, and all the party talking point, they're just repeating it, that person lost their individuality. Their self-identity gone. It's been replaced by something else. And that's the mark of someone who's a fanatic, who's been follower of a cult system. And let's talk about what my brother just said. We have torrential rain in Liberia. Any architect who goes to design a structure in Liberia and do not understand that we got torrential rain in Liberia, that architect isn't worth it. And any building that cannot withstand torrential rain in Liberia, again, I'm asking you, did all of the buildings around the Firestone area leak yesterday? Buildings that are far older than the building that was built, the airport? If not, that cannot be considered natural disaster.
Thank you,
Never
Raymond.
meet the measurement of natural disaster.
I want to hold you
George,
because we really don't want to go back to yesterday's conversation.
No, but brother said it here. You never stop him when he said it. He just repeated that. And he only said it yesterday because one way or the other, CDC is caught up in it.
Two hosts on the show.
CDC, President George Weah was the one who officially dedicated that structure.
And you think that's the reason why he?
That's the reason. And when I talk about,
but that
was the only reason why he had to say it was natural disaster.
We want to make a transition here, guys. This is very important. We saw that in the early stage of this administration, there was something done that put smiles on the faces of a lot of people. It gave so many people high hopes that we were about to see things take off at a whole different level, talking about the fight against corruption, setting precedent, and making sure that things take off for the country. Something the previous administration tried to do. The previous administration did seem, but they didn't go a long way. In no time, everything went down. Talking about the asset recovery team. This time around, the president decided not to go through any executive order and X, Y, and Z. Not to go through the legislature, sorry. We saw an executive order establishing the office of the asset recovery team so that they will start to work effectively immediately. Next thing we saw was that individuals were being named to serve on the asset recovery team. And then right after those people were named, the asset recovery team took off. Sorry, I want to, get something coming up here. Sorry. So I want to get this coming up, and a good thing that we are already here now. I want to read this out here. Executive Order number 126. Interestingly, this was in March, the 6th of March. And I want to read just a portion of the mandate of this team and why it's very important for Liberians to be concerned about this at this time. Executive Mansion, I can't put this up now because of the different processes it will have to go through. Let me hope I can just share the screen here, and then maybe we can take a look at it. But you can get Executive Order number 126. I think it's already up. Okay, so here we have it. And then, so let's talk about the task force. In an effort to restore credibility, this is from the eMansion website. In an effort to restore credibility, accountability, and transparency in the governance process, His Excellency Joseph Juma Boakai has issued Executive Order number 126, effective immediately for the retrieval and recovery of national asset. That's the first paragraph in that executive order. The second one says, the order establishes an asset recovery task force and an office under the Ministry of State for Presidential Affairs, Ministry of State for Special Services, mandated to put into place the necessary legal framework for the recovery of assets wrongfully acquired by corrupt and former officials of government. President Boakai, in an executive order issued with the intent to say the executive order or the task force is set up with the intent to retrieve, restore, and reinstate, to recover, restore, and reinstate fixed and liquid assets from within and out of Liberia, and have been converted to private use by unscrupulous government officials and employees who were placed in positions of trust. The decision aims to address the alarming trend, and blah, 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 blah. So this is the executive order 126. And folks, from March, today, we are already in October. From March, we are already in October. Asset recovery team started on a very good note. Next thing we saw was a few resignations. Martin Colley resigned, and there were some shakings there. The asset recovery is out. Emmanuel Gongwa and the rest of the folks, Patrick Sulu was brought down. Gracious Rad, believed to be owned by the former chief of protocol of the president. The vehicles were taken. The major concern at this point is what becomes the fate of the asset recovery team. This executive order that we just read, are we about to see this executive order go down the drain without any tangible after 1 year? Now, because every executive order is valid for 1 year. After the 1 year, the president will have to renew that executive order. But if we want to go back, we're not too far from March of next year. What can we point to that the asset recovery team has been able to achieve? And here's the next thing. The fact that the office of the asset recovery team has been set up, the people are being paid. What becomes of the state resources that is being used to pay the people on the asset recovery team? Was the executive order? Okay, guys, let me hold it there. Mama, let's start with your take on this issue.
Yeah, take it.
There should have been a ruling, and just before you come in, the ruling, the asset recovery team should have taken place, should have been handed down the same day the Charlo Musu Councillor Scott ruling was handed down.
And what
it was a case number 8, while the Charlo Musu and Councillor Scott case was at number 10. But that case was skipped. And another thing I want us to take into consideration here is that the judiciary, before now, have been complaining that the executive have been treating them like a stepchild, not allotting fundings to them as they're doing for the executive and that of the legislature. They said they try. In fact, they even raised concern. They had a press conference and expressed their dissatisfaction. Is this a way of the judiciary getting back at the executive? Since, in fact, this whole asset recovery team is something that came up as a result of an executive order from the office of the president.
Look, Nelson, let me say something, right? Like, when it comes to the assets recovery, we remember when the people was working, confiscating cars that would belong to the government, or some of these cars were people who stood on money from the government, from the country rather, they bought those cars. Now, and people come on the show, they say, oh, it's not correct. Okay, we agree. Now, listen. That go by the right procedure, right? That go to the that go to the justice system. That go to the department. That go to the Department of Justice or the Justice Department to investigate and come up with funding. Now, although the president said that it did not got tax force, but when the people were carrying these things, those exercises, they were taking people cars that they believed that from the previous government, they were corrupt. Without investigation. So when the Justice Department come in, nursing, end of the day, what happens? They carry the court. And you ask about people still taking pay. Nursing, those people were appointed in the government. Until the president can say, we fire you, you don't got to get paid. They will not get paid. But as long as they stay on payroll and the case is going, except the government say, okay, you know what? We'll put her to your pay until after the investigation. But other than that, I see it like a corruption because you know what? They stay in the process and they're waiting to work for the Liberian people to recover more assets that belong to the Liberian people. Look, let's go selling. You know how many billions of selling money or US dollar and property the selling government confiscated from people who stole from their government? Go Ghana, go other countries. When in Liberia, when you do it, they say that which one? Then they won't part you, they won't part you, so system. Okay, yes. They part you the system, but what happens? The government still waiting. They're still waiting for the justice system to come up and say, okay, today the case, let us go through the case. But you know why they're delaying the case? Because what the government is doing is right. Nelson, it is right. Every corrupt nation, any president that will be elected by the people, look, Nelson, the people confiscate things. Malabio, go check it out. Malabio confiscate properties, confiscate cars, confiscate money, and they put it into government revenue today. You know what made today when Malabio go anywhere people get him money? Because of transparency. That's why he did during the election. While he stole the election, while he carried this, he carried that, there was no evidence. But because of the asset recovery team and fighting against corruption today, Malabio told somewhere people listening and they get money. So we believe the government, our government, President Joseph Yima Boakai, can stand under his feet and say, you know what? Let the asset recovery team proceed. It shouldn't be. It shouldn't stick somewhere that the justice department will let tongue out and they say, you know what? Let will keep delaying until it die by itself, natural death. So to me, Nelson, I think within my own capacity, with my own understanding that the people who on those payroll, they are wrong for being on the payroll. They are working. They wouldn't deal with the government to say, you know what, today the asset recovery thing start. You'll get on the feet. You'll get on your feet. Or the government, or the justice department already done with their investigation. You'll go to the court and see whosoever. There's nobody above the law. That's the reality in every nation. Nobody above the law. Only like bro, when you're doing the right thing, people say you wish hunting. People say you bad. People say you corrupt. People say all kinds of things. How the nation will function when you get people who took huge amount of money from the nation, and today they are enjoying comfortably, and other people suffering. You think that is right? People who could not afford two-bedroom apartments.
Maba. In the midst of everything we're talking about, asset recovery team is still being paid. Asset recovery team is still existing. The asset recovery team, as we speak, Maba, is not working.
It's not.
Till we get to that point where, there can be a ruling from the court. A stay order was placed on the whole workings of the asset recovery team.
So now it left with the government
the gracious right situation when we're
it left with the government to pull
asset recovery team. And this is the next aspect, Mobile. Even in the case where the asset recovery team gets over the case with gracious right, are we going to see another lawsuit when asset recovery team comes up with another listing or goes after another individual or entity that is believed to have siphoned government money, and then that institution runs to court, and the court then places a stay order on the way? Is the asset recovery team ever going to achieve the actual objective?
Nelson, look, let me see. The asset recovery team can survive when they probably do probably what we call a background check and a background investigation. You understand? So if they probably do that background investigation, and then before they carry on an arrest, then it will succeed. But again, we got some money and you start arresting people. You carry on what we call background investigation, background check. You do your underground work and make sure these property. And first of all, you carry. Look, Nelson is a whole entity. It's a whole different story on our identical recovery team. Because Nelson, I will not get us someone. I say Nelson store. Nelson, park your car. No. What I would do, I would get what we call I'm not forgetting the name, but we'll get somebody who will go and do that investigation and make sure get everything on that identical stuff and get your information. How much you are making when you're working doing George Manette, we are reading. How much you make a year? What are your padam? How much you get a year? 6 years. How much your expenditure? All those things, Nelson, is needed. Because at the end of the day, when you hold somebody, now let me tell you, Nelson, let me conclude by saying this. You see in America, when FBI go to your house, when they say you honor arrest or you do something, before they go to you, Nelson, they get 100 or 1 million evidence against you. And all this evidence is documented that even when they say, Nelson, yesterday we saw you to my house, you are doing something, you not say no. They bring the evidence, they send the picture to you. So when you work like that, what you made? You made a defendant weak. And
thank you.
Prosecutor be or
Mama, I want to hold you there. Thank you, Mobile. Let
That's
me hold you
it.
there.
So I think the people need to do more so that we can be able to come here and heal them.
But Josh, let's hear your take on this issue. I just read a portion of the executive order. The actual reason why executive order number 126 was issued with immediate effect, effective immediately for the retrieval and recovery of national asset. Are the national assets being recovered and retrieved? Is the asset recovery team on pause? Is it ever going to achieve its objective? I mean, let's do we still need the asset recovery team? Josh, let's hear it.
Nelson, this was just another money wasting venture by President Boakai. You know, I don't know who's advising him. I don't know if he's advising himself or the slave queen in his office is advising called
Come on. No, Josh, we will not refer to national leaders in that way. No, Josh.
Okay. The beautiful woman, the political advisor, the political advisor in his office.
But is it fair to go back a little to say that there was an asset recovery team that failed under the previous administration?
Nelson. And that's the thing. And that's why we need, as Liberians, we need to be strategic in our thinking. Because when you're not strategic in your thinking, that's when you can see that other people are from courts or from hospital or from critical camp, right? Because one of the things we gotta look at is that we can always look at history, to advance. That means if Nelson is in front of me, he's going to the water side and he slipped and falls. That place he slipped and fall, I will have to look at that place and not slip there as well, right? So these people that came to power, I said they were sophisticated. They are the most educated people. They should have seen where the mistake lied with the CDC's recovery chain, right? To avoid that. But these people, they came empty, Nelson. They did not know what they were doing. And that's why they continue to fail. Let me tell you, what has the government ever undertaken that succeeded? Nothing, Nelson. We should now be questioning ourselves, what was Boakai even elected for to do? Nelson, the same thing that happened during our administration where government could not pay salary. They put people in the street. People were protesting because they can't get paid, Nelson. And when you ask them, they will say, CDC took the money. You see it? These are the problems in our society. This particular asset recovery team was put in place hurry because Boakai wanted to make a quick impact. Boakai wanted to make international headlines that he's still craving for. That's why he want to put Cemetery behind bars so they can say he's doing something, even though he's doing nothing. Nelson, that asset recovery team is a failure from the beginning. Because for the fact of the matter is that, Nelson, these people, they listen in the street, they say, oh, Finapono get 500 taxes in the traffic. They say, we'll go there, we'll grabbing. They start grabbing taxes. And the Martin man, who is the head of this particular entity, he's a lawyer, Nelson. But when you're setting for somebody, that's when you make these type of terrible mistakes, because these people, they listen in the street, opposed to, oh, now they are saying the public minister get trucks that are running on Bombing Highway. That's what they are saying now. You see the lies, Liberia. That's why our country, I don't know why the people strategically gave out that name, Liberia. We lied too much, Nelson. We lied. Can you imagine, Nelson? Somebody would keep somebody, if they don't know you, they'll come to you and lie to you about yourself. And you'll be asking whether there's another Nelson somewhere. This country is built on lies. Because the first thing is that we say we came to Liberia as free slaves. We're not still free, Nelson. We came and we enslaved the people that were there. When Congo people came, when you send your child to go live with Congo people, they will not send your child to school. They will make your child to be the cleaner in their house. That's the thing that they brought in Liberia. That's what they did. And that's why this asset recovery thing will fail. Because these people, instead of going by the books, they went with impulse. When somebody say, oh, the person stole money, then they run to your house. Oh, no. Because the lies it just continues. No one is there to tell the truth.
But Josh, I understand all the la you're talking about, man. Josh, but let's come back to the issue here. The asset recovery.
The asset recovery is a waste of money. Councilor Martin
is there anything we can do better? Maybe
Nelson,
we will have to. Is there any adjustment you think?
Look, Nelson, I think that
because at the end of the day, a lot of people will tell you that we need the asset recovery team because come what may, resources were mismanaged by people who steer the affairs of the country, who were entrusted with national coffers. And that's why we need the asset recovery team. But what are we doing wrongly? What do we need to do to ensure a robust asset recovery team?
We need an asset recovery. And let me tell you, I know my brother Morba can say all the nonsense on the show. I don't listen to him most of the time when he speaks because most of the things he can say to me don't make sense. But on that one, I want to qualify him for this one. I will deal with him. I want to qualify him this one. What he said made a lot of sense in the whole world. That these people will have to go back in the drawing room and investigate, get all the evidence they need, not a knee-jerk reaction, but get all the evidence they need. The first thing when you are accused, Nelson, they'll come to you and ask you questions and get all the assets, go to the bank, they subpoena your bank details, they get everything, where the money came from, because there is trail. If you bought taxi, you can take a bag of money and carry to go buy taxi, right? People transfer money from banks to bank. So they will follow all the trail and say, okay, where did the money come from? They will follow the trail and make sure where that money came from, they would know. If you got it from government, then of course you are in trouble. But if you got it as a loan, Nelson, anybody in Liberia can take loan and get anything they want to get once a person have a job. So if you're going to rush to my house because George built 3 houses, he government built 3 houses, so you want to go there, and then I say, no, I got loan from the bank because my salary guarantees the loan, so I can be paying back. So I build houses. Nelson, you cannot recover the houses. That's why these people are wrong, because people lie too much in that country, Nelson. Nelson, somebody will lie on you, you will be thinking that somebody else they're talking about. These people lie too much. So the thing the guys can do is to go back on the drawing board, to come back and say, look, guys, we lie on the CDC government. Fina Bono did not have 200 taxes that they lied that she got. The car, the IG was driving, Patrick Sudu, he bought it from GSA because of the policy that in place, and then go after the right things, Nelson. But these people, they follow too much. They say government people should not be listening to what they say, but go with evidence. But everything, because they had in their mind when they were opposition, they were craving to get jobs back. They were lying. The last man fought on them because they didn't know what to go again. Guess what, Nelson? Before I close, let them go and take George Weah for the 2 condominiums that they want me, and I want them to go take. When they take it out there and no say the thing was the line they were lying that were true. Then they go tell it for the 2 condominiums. They said that they even test them here. That test they still chasing. Testing they come and get old. They testing them once they get old, they finish, they put the trailer away. Then of course they also go recover them on the dumper. This thing, Nelson, is painful to our country because guess what? That money they're using to pay the people is too much.
I want to hold you there. Thank you. Where is Raymond? I thought we had Raymond here. Okay, but then Josh, Vasco, go ahead, and then right after you will go to the phone lines.
Thank you, Nelson. The God is saying it's not really good to discuss about the debt. So the asset recovery thing you're talking about, the asset recovery thing died a long time. That they Bali. They don't have, they will not recover. You will not see them. If you can have members within the asset recovery team telling you that the head of the asset recovery team is a rogue, is corrupt. Now 2 person, I think they make it clear that the man that is heading the asset recovery team, he is corrupt. In Maya Gongwa and Kim, all they told you the same thing.
But Martin Colley saying it doesn't make it to be the truth.
Oh, they're in there. They know the man acquired an office that he said he spent how many dollars for it. Where's the office? Nessie, you cannot have a group of people, you just put them together. They had the notion that once you work in government, that means you are a criminal. Any other thing you acquire while working for government, that means you stole it. That is the notion the whole the asset recovery thing came with. And that is the reason why today they die. They die. And the reason why the court can always overturn some of this issue, or they can tell you, say, you gotta go back to start a court, because you're not doing it the right way. They got procedures in which you can even get to some other property that you want to take it. And because they say, oh yeah, you the asset recovery thing. So you just be running around when you see something and by the former government official, you go and say, yeah, I wanted the government property here. Where in the world you don't see no kind of action? Nowhere. And that's the reason why the entire government, I can say, there's people that classify us to be incompetent people that don't know nothing about governance. These are the people now who have it in power. But look at the action. Look at what they're doing. There's no need for us to waste our time. That asset recovery thing that day by day, they die. You will not get it again. When you die, you die. You're not coming back.
Thank you. Thank you very much for your
info.
For long, 05551011075. 055511010. Let's hear from the Liberian people. Let's hear Liberians on this issue tonight. Yes, Vasco, you're laying your thoughts. We're coming back to do our closing. 05551011075. I'll put the WhatsApp number up as well. Hello.
Hello.
Your name and where you call from, sir?
Yeah, good morning to my people of my community country and even listen this morning, and how other countries who are following Spoon that show. There's activist EKC call from District Amos Rada.
Go ahead, let's say.
The VAT for President Ghana, CDC chapter. You know, I want to say happy to one of you most important.
But you the vice chair for President Propaganda, right?
Sure.
The CDC Maryland chapter. But then what are you doing in Moravia, my man?
I'm on a private vaccine. I've not been restricted by any law in Liberia not to move around because I've not.
I didn't say so either, but go ahead. Go ahead.
To restrain my movement.
Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yes. So I'm here on a visitation, a private visitation. And there have been a lot of connotation. George and other guys have been doing well. We in CDC, we are humble people. We are peaceful people. But people who are not properly informed, take CDC in their own low thinking as troublemaker. No, nothing. If you are an objective journalist, you saw CDC in Liberia was killed in Lo-Fi and other places. Honor the regime of CDC. CDC did not put that loud of people through the security. Because we are the government, the authority that are governing the country for 7 years. Honor CDC regime, the 7 year you are a journalist, I say you want to bring that record as an independent journalist. The police, the national security have not shot at anybody directly. Yes, who condemn the other that died. They are Liberians. We don't know who killed them, who hold the other guys.
Thank you.
I'm not end the call in 1 minute. It's important in my portfolio to sharpen some of the contradictions. So
but we're not invite you as a guest on the show now. They will invite you as guest. You're sharpening contradiction.
So I don't know how can I get a number and do that if you don't mind.
Yeah, you can reach out to me on social media. But but just take 30 seconds and conclude, sir.
Yeah. Before any, I would like to read my number to you. Maybe I can talk to you behind the scene if you don't mind. Yeah.
No, don't read a number. Just reach out to me on social media.
I'll try to do that. Okay. So, see this institution that people believe in. We're not set individual there. This is what 2011, Councilor Winston Tottenham, one of the two councilor, a diplomat in the war as far as UN is concerned, says as the president of CDC 2011, I say you're not sorry. CDC is a people-driven party. We don't go there to put grass in our hair. No. But one of your colleagues on the show said, I think it was Vasco, he admitted to our own brother, the late Silly, putting the grass in your mouth, like an initiation when he went back to the party. Yeah, I'm not saying it's a very so rest in press. Silly did it at his own evolution.
Okay.
That is not a doctrine of CDC in this
Thank you.
into the party. No.
Thank you.
Ms. Lily, thank you, Vaso and George, for your good doing, continue the hard work.
Thank you. Y'all got a buttress in many. Hello. Go ahead. Let's hear you.
Nothing.
Yeah, you are live on the show.
Tommy Jr.
Yeah, Tommy, let's hear you.
Tommy Jr. Virginia. First of all, before I get to my point, I just want to say a few things quickly. First of all, to my brother Moba, my man, nice shirt, brother. That's a very nice shirt. I appreciate it. Also, I just want to say, my brother, I appreciate you guys being on here. I believe this is the only show that people within our demographic has the chance to look at things from the lenses of young people. So I want to thank you guys for always being committed to this show, because it's an opportunity for young people like us to have our voices here and also to discuss things from our perspective. So thanks to all of you guys. Tonight, Leslie, I am siding with my two CDC brother, Vasco and George. The asset recovery has been a massive failure. You know what I'm saying? Let Torso, bro. It's been very bad. From every step of the way, these guys have performed so poorly, extremely poorly. You know what I'm saying? The asset recovery is definitely needed. It's definitely needed. But every step of the way these guys have operated has been poor. Their judgment has been poor. The action has been subpar. We have to do better. I love Martin Colley. I think he's a great guy. I think he's doing really well. And he speaks up. And we have to change things. And Nelson, the last point I'm going to make is this. What we're seeing with the asset recovery is the epitome of having loyalists as members of an integrity as an institution. We should have gotten independent folks to be part of the asset recovery, not you be loyalists. Thank you for the time, Nelson. I hope you guys have a good night.
Thank you very much for your input, Tommy Jr. Let's take another person here. Hello.
Very good point. Very good point.
Hello, Nathan Kola and your panelists on the show. I'm James Blama Kamara from the Liberian Civil Rights Movement, and I think this is my debut on your show this morning.
Yeah, go ahead, brother. Let's hear you.
Yeah, thank you, brother, for what you continue to do for Liberia as it relates to your reportage. And let me commend the very young people on the show, whether for CDC and for United Party. We all are yearning for the right thing to be done for Liberia. But I would want to caution their mind that we are all Liberians. And some of you people have the opportunity to be out there. And people follow you on the basis of maybe the opportunity or your location. So let us try to speak at least to defend our country, then depending on your politicians who will invest our money and then be able to go and we continue to live in a jail poverty.
Thank you.
One of your panelists said, when Samuel Tua is guilty, it should be there. We are calling to the law. And whosoever, that's why we call on President Boka to ensure that the fight against corruption should be holistic, because we are all Liberians.
I want to hold you there, James.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot for your input. Let's take another person from the WhatsApp line. Hello, you are live. Let's hear you.
Yes. Hi, Leslie. How you doing?
Yeah, we're okay. Let's hear you, sir.
Thank you for the show. Thank you, brother. Yes, Nelson, as the way you're talking about asset recovery, we really need that in the country. We truly need that. If people can be taking the national resources, spending them, only one person taking all what the kind of money that we're hearing over the show, stealing all this money. Yes, we do need it. We do need it because why? Look at the disabled in the country. One disabled cannot be paid $50 a month. All the disabled, the blind in our country, they cannot be, I mean, the government cannot help them $50 a month for if they tell every country in the whole world right now, they're doing that. But in that country, the disabled can make it, and one person taking almost 90 million and 500 million, 500 get the kind of money that we hear on the or stealing from the government. Please, we rather need that, but neither in a point or that it be fair judgment. Now CDC, now or UP, everybody that involved need to be brought to the court and let it justify. You are not found guilty until be proven. There are that people making an argument, but the two both parties that on the show, They always backing on their on the other side. When the other person talk, he back on his other side. The other person talk. No, we not enjoying the show by that. We want to hear the Liberian want to hear the truth.
Thank you,
but
sir.
Now backing another party, then you say you make it point. You come or you buy another party, then you say you make it.
I want to appreciate you, sir. Thank you very much for your input. I want to hold you there. Let's take another person here from the WhatsApp line. Then we'll go to the local lines and take a few more. Hello.
Hello, Nelson. This is William.
Yeah, William, go ahead. Let's hear you.
Yeah, Nelson. Today, West, let's say I appreciate you guys firstly for the show. And sometimes that's with gospel, but when it comes to the after recovery thing, bro, I don't really understand how government working on this, because when they were coming in power, the main thing where those assets that the CDC people took away from the Liberian people, they were going to get it back on in the first year. But now I'm so surprised we can't hear anything about assets recovery. We can't hear anything. I don't really know how it's going on. The alien climate they were talking about, I can't even hear any no more. So that one president talking the right to say anything CDC saying right now, they are 100% right to say it. I can tell you for free.
Thank you very much. Let's hold you there. We take 3 more calls from the local line. Hello.
Yeah. How are you? How everything with you guys over there?
Yes, sir. We're okay. It's good to have you.
Thank you. My name is Robert Nwakoro, and I call you from District 17. Look, we supported this government. I'm not a member of the United Party, but I supported this government because I thought that an elderly man would take over and would be able to nurture the children in well. That is the belief I have, and I still have that belief. But what I want now this government to do is about asset recovery. How are they going to do it? Because when it came, CDC, supporter, they are like, they're confusing the people. You know, when you're playing, you're playing a football and you got edge over your opponent. You know how you can drill it around. That is why the CDC is this government, because the guys, when they come in, they're very, very hungry, and so CDC will play the game well with them. That is what they're doing. When they pass it, they confuse them. They go to the confuse them. So they don't want to put themselves in order so that they will have something better done. Like he said, the other guy they put it, they're running after money. Money, I don't think that is what we want. And the next thing I have to say is, I'm calling all of the civil society group, the Liberian people, from now before 2029, if we can put ourselves together and walk to that horse, that legislature, and tell them that we implore you, this time around, will be forced to make this law. What kind of law? They salary the that they are putting for. Ministers are taking this. I think the Liberian post should be able to decide. And the civil society group, let's meet and discuss it before we go over.
Thank you very much.
We'll put it on the right path. If last 2029 will meet up with us, it will still be the same. Thank you very
Thanks
much.
a lot for your input. Let's take another person here. Hello.
Good morning, Elvin.
Yeah, good morning.
My name is Robert Makoya. On your show, this is my debut on your show. But I've been calling on this show here when my good friend King Goody from in Liberia. You are my brother. Because the name you bear, I know it's on a particular country. And there where I hear from. But I want to tonight, I listen to your show most of the time. But tonight I decided to call. You give more time to one Molva to prepare. Vasco, all you caught in Vasco on the time short. 1. 2, I want to say to you, the asset recovery thing, what you people are discussing tonight, that asset recovery thing, for me, in my belief, I see it was put together illegally. What do I mean by that? In my own sound mind and a lay person mind. There were a group of guys who were very angry with some of the officials of CDC yesterday that they were stealing. So putting them on our recovery thing, it was just a waste of money which they had in mind to hunt those guys that were in power at that time to just say that the corrupt is true. The asset recovery team needed to put credible people there, people that are legal luminary, people that want to be neutral people to be put on our asset recovery team. But if you look at the asset recovery team, it was members of the rescue, the so-called rescue government. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I want to hold you there. Thank you very much for your input, sir. We appreciate you. Let's take this person. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Yes, we are live on the show. Let's hear you.
Yes, I was watching the topic on the asset recovery in Liberia. Yes, my name is Sina Dennis. I'm calling from ORM, Pawtucket to be precise.
Okay.
Yes, I just wanted to, give my little 1-2 on the topic. I just believe the asset recovery is a failure, even though the intent was good. It's a complete failure because they went in with a preconceived notion and looking at what currently is being exposed about the current members of the current administration stealing money, buying cars, costing 150, 120, some of them saying, you can't say you're coming to recover assets when the government don't have money and you coming there to make a change with the education, the know-how, and you buying cars or you buying car in our work for one person to use for a ministry. I just believe it's just hypocritical. It doesn't make sense. And I think he should be able to go back, try to get the right people. As someone said, an independent person will be better. You don't just go after people because you think they work in the government. They have property, so it's like it's government.
So, but what do you think? Do we still need the asset recovery team?
Well, they claim because when you put people repetition on the line, you have to prove that the things you were saying were right. Now, if you can't prove it, that shows that you even lied in the first place. So if they have proof, my thing is, then fine. Go ahead. But you can't be saying you want to grab people for corruption when you're in the same position, people right under your nose doing worse that people see. It's just bad. It's contradictory. It's not good. It's disgusting. It's tiring. No. Because these were the same things that they went on. We couldn't hear in the States. Every party you went to, they are educated, they are ready, they're going to make a difference. Now, I would tell you, when you go to some of these programs here, they don't even want to discuss Liberia anymore. They are all ashamed. You know what I mean? It's just not right. It's just hypocritical.
Thank you.
So you have even your leaders coming. He's here in Pawtucket, and no one wants to even see him. No one wants to even see him. He's in Rhode Island. No one cares because it's just so bad. They're all ashamed. You can't say something is wrong and you have people doing it. You can't even woo them in your own face to take care of it.
Thank you.
If they have proof, my thing is then go ahead. But if it's just been a witch hunt, then stop it.
Thank you.
Just do the right thing.
Thank you very much for your input. We appreciate you tonight for calling on the late night show. I think we're going to hold it at that. I see a lot of calls still coming in, but we have to go. And at this point, we can do our closing. I don't know how Raymond got here. So we're going to go around the table. Vasco first, Raymond next, Josh, and then Mobile will take us home.
Yeah, thank you, Nelson. I didn't want to cry my own cry, but I want to say thank you to the caller because I have noticed whenever I try to speak, Nelson, you can take my time. But the guys, Mobile and Raymond, have been speaking here and talking. But, thank God for that call.
Vasco, I hope you didn't plan that person to call.
I don't even know the person.
Vasco went backstage and then the person called. Why the person didn't call when you were on?
I don't know the person.
Why the person didn't call when you were on, Vasco?
The people observing the show, they're watching the show, they're listening to on the radio, Nancy. But I would like to deviate a little bit from today because I don't want the topic today. I mean, they are all good topics, but let me deviate a little bit. And I hope I want us to have a segment on this show that will discuss current event in the country, things that's happening. Because I know you're one of the best journalists in our country. You know, you go on the field, you interview people, you ask people about the situation in the country. There should be a day or two that we will come here and discuss current event. How our people doing? What is the rescue mission achievement? What are they doing for our people in the country? Are the people life better now than 4 or 5 months ago? Or let's say 1 year or 2 years ago? These are things we need to be talking. We open a line for our people in Monrovia to call. We talk about the people that are in America. The line should be open to the people that live in our country. We need to find a day or two on this show, Nelson, because we're here for the people. We can't hold it with top of Samuel 12. Samuel 12 ain't called. They will carry in to do what they want to do. I said we call everything a day ballet. They're not coming by, die. You can't wake up again. So we don't have to waste our time on them. And today there was a fight at the Ministry of Public Works. I just saw it in Front Page Africa. These are the competent people that came to spearhead our country. If you can have the head of public work and the deputy fighting, they went into face fight today. This will be something that we'll have to discuss on a late night show, because discussing some of these things will make those people who serve in opposition to come to themselves, to know that you are here to serve the Liberian people, not yourself. So we need to. And I hope you listen to me, and I know you will listen to me. We'll have a time here. We'll discuss current event, the effect of the people in the country. Thank you, Nelson.
Wow, Vasco had his time, and he concluded and said thank you without interruption. Now I hope the caller will call back and
Yes, I spoke in my time. I spoke in less than a minute.
Okay, good. Thanks a lot, Vasco. But where is Raymond? Okay, so Raymond left.
He want for everybody to talk, so he can be the last. He gave 5
Raymond
minutes.
will not be Vasco. Let's say Morba is taking us home on the talking point. So George, you can go ahead.
Thank you, Nelson. I want to thank all of our listeners and the contributors and everyone else. I want to thank you for the time spent with us. Here's what I want to say quickly. Liberia belongs to every one of us. There's no reason why certain segment of people should be excluded from the discourse. I see people say that, or a lot of comments I've seen, they say every human being got 6 senses, but once you join the CDC, they want to call one of your senses can be sold to George Weah, for whatever reason. People are making a lot of denigrating comments about a certain group of people. That is not good. That is what drives the country apart. That's what makes other people to get vexed. You know what I mean? And look, everyone has one of the things about our constitution is that we all
George, there's something about your background. I'm sorry. It's so terrible. You will have to just change your location and you can come back. Raymond, please do your closing. Wow, I have on the headphones, so that feedback or the wind sound from the background is just so terrible for me. Raymond.
For me, so my dear brothers and some of the callers, we're not here because we support a party ideology. We belong to no political party, Liberia first. And if any Liberian love their country, they have to realize that corruption is a reality. And it's because of corruption, after 177 years, our country is still in a deplorable state amongst the least developed countries in the world. So if you will come here and try to defend corruption and try to smell the efforts of the assets recovery, even if there are missteps. Your desire should see that those who are corrupt should be held accountable and to support the process of the rule of law. But if your comments will be in the contrary, it's concerning. If people from this government corrupt, they should be held liable for their corruption. And people from the CDC-led government that audit reports have found them liable, they should be held accountable. Any Liberian who calling the efforts to hold corrupt government official a witch hunt, shame on you. You mean no well for that country. Either you benefited from the corrupt and the loot, so you will defend the corrupt and the loot, or you are one of the court worshippers who see a political party over the country called Liberia and will have to call you out for who you are. Liberia belongs to all of us. And we'll all be better when Liberia is better. But when a few persons get better and the rest of the people suffer in abject poverty, that's concerning to some of us, and we'll not have a restful night if those things are happening. We'll use our breath, we'll use our time, we'll use our energy, and we'll call those ills in society what they are. If you guys feel comfortable enjoying the loot, shame on you. And we'll call on this government to go after all those who the others have found them liable for corruption. And we ask all those in the legal system to ensure that they be held liable for those things. That's how we're going to correct our country, and Liberia can look as good as some of the countries you guys are calling from and enjoying, but want corruption to continue in our country because it suits you. It makes you feel good.
Thank you very much, Raymond.
Nelson, can I conclude?
Yeah, Josh, go ahead.
Look, thank you, and like I said, thanks to all to our listeners and contributors and everyone else. Look, Liberia is for every one of us. Anyone who professes to feel that they are more Liberian than any other person, that's where the problem starts from. We all care about Liberia. We want Liberia to be better because we know that everything we are was given to us by Liberia. Our identity and everything comes from Liberia. So regardless of where we are, we support Liberia. We are not here to support any criminal. We are not saying anyone there shouldn't be justice. We said there should be asset recovery, and if the right channel is followed, let the asset be recovered. If anyone commit crime, anyone who commits crime, that person should see the day in court, and that's what we stand for. But if you are using a single barrel to kill mosquitoes, we say that is heavy-handed, and that is tantamount to witch hunt, because somebody who has trying to say over to the court, do not go after them again, only because the person is speaking in public and telling the Liberian people the wrong you're doing. What has the government done? Nothing. They has not recovered any asset. Look, guys, Liberians, tell me, what has the government done? Almost a year. They said it was wrong to harmonize salary. The salary is still harmonized, but the wage bill has gone up because the big shots are making all the money. That's why they are using to use $100,000 to buy a car for each and every one of them. The wage bill has gone up because these guys are paying themselves heavy salaries, even though George Weah reduced it and said only $5,000 was going to be for a minister. But these guys have taken their salary up again. They are all enjoying. And if you don't call that legal corruption and you want to come here and say certain people are part of court and you're not part of court, I think you are courteous as well. When you're not looking in the face of the people who are in power to speak the truth to them, you are a slave to them. Maybe it's intellectually or some way, I don't know how to describe it. But I think we'll speak to people. We did not personally gain anything from CDC government. We don't seek to gain anything from any government, but we seek the interest of Liberia. We seek that the best thing be done for our country, because if a cemetery is treated inhumanly, only in the name of justice, and it's not done the right way, anybody else can be treated that way, and we stand against that. When Moses Scott was free from prison, people were here rejoicing. That same court denied hearing the asset recovery case because they wanted to free their friend from prison hurriedly so they can go and rest. But we are here, we will speak to it, we will not relent, we will not be deterred. by calling us any name you want to call us. You will not make us to run away from this platform. We'll be here and we'll say the facts and we'll say the truth because the
thank
truth
you,
will
Josh.
prevail. And there's no
Thank you,
way
Josh.
anybody can intimidate us by calling us names.
Thank you very
So
much,
Nelson,
Josh.
I want to thank you.
Thanks a lot,
I want to thank the CEO, the former CEO, Mr. Seton Waterspoon. I really appreciate it, guy.
Okay, let me pull that man in the background. That man will be in the back until the show ends. So Moba, take us home.
Thank you, Nelson, and thank you to my fellow panelists, and thank you to our listeners as well. Look, we all want the best for Liberia. We all fighting corruption. We all speaking about corruption. We all understand how corruption destroys every nation, not only Liberia alone. But in fighting corruption, it should be holistic. And we all understand Summit 12, like when I came here first, I said, oh, he stole, he did it. But end of the day, let him go to court, and when he found guilty, let him pay, and then let him go to jail for his crime. But for our country to move forward, Nelson, we, the Liberians, while around the world, we gotta be true. We gotta be saying the truth always. We shouldn't come and say this, and end of the day, we back the other political party because we feel when we back the party, probably the candidate or people from around the party they will see us to be betrayal. That's how the sedition behave. We gotta believe that if they say the truth to power, George we always say they betray the party. The party, and other members of the party will come out and say a lot of things against them. But for us, we are independent people. We're not from United Party. We're not sedition. We are non-political partisan. We're not affiliated with no political party. So end of the day, we speak what we know. It is true for the Liberian people. So that whole recovery access thing, Nelson, we agree. The only problem I get with the access recovery team was they needed to do their background investigation, go do their due diligence, do their background investigation, do whatsoever they can do, and come up with funding, and then sit down in the corner, bring on evidence, and then carry on that prosecution. Then that would, whatsoever thing they can carry on, and then people respect them. But you can just wake up some money, you say the other person steal the money, the other person take the car. So that's where the problem coming from. But next in fighting corruption, we all should embrace it. We all should be happy. But certain group of people say, no, we can't be happy because they're behind our demagogue. Because when they go behind a person here, our party will break. No. Let all of us fight corruption. Let us understand that when fight corruption, Liberia will be better. Because of corruption today, Liberia is nowhere. Liberia is nowhere. A lot of people stole government resources, stole government money today. They got a lot of money. They got money, they got buildings, they got estates, they got businesses running. But before then, they were having nothing. But based on government resources, today's the money they are millionaire. They rich. Let me conclude. Let go and do the statistic on the people on those people who before they started working in government, how their levels, how many money they were making. Then you will know how many people are looted our country. So next thing we all on the same page. We'll be holistic. I will say every day, I'm not sedition. I'm not a United Party person. I will come here and say the way I see it. Let us fight corruption. Let all the people who honor the United Party, who stole from the government, let according to the sedition or whosoever, let them go through the process as some.
Thank you.
So
Thank you, Mama.
Thank you.
Monotonous.
We want to say thanks to everyone. We want to say thanks.
Nelson, just before we go, right?
Nelson,
there's a metaphor. Just before we go, there's a metaphor that says,
"Thank you,
the wheels of justice turn slowly, but grounds exceedingly fine." Everywhere in the world, justice is not a rapid thing.
There before we go to Nelson.
Even these great United States we are, there are court proceedings that exceed over a year.
And
so court process are not rapid things. So anybody that thinks because the access recovery thing in court means they fail, you understand court proceedings.
Raymond lied tonight again about Matthew Innes.
The technical team has been
Tomorrow when you
securing-
come
Yeah.
Raymond lied tonight again.
Occultists don't know the difference from lie and truth. Like a recitation. You lack
Vasco, when you come tomorrow,
I want to say thanks to
you lack the
everyone.
comprehension to know lies from truth, Vasco.
Thank you very much, Raymond. Thank you, Vasco. Thank you, Moba. Thank you, George. It's been another great edition of the program. Many thanks to our audience, the people out there following the show, watching the program, making their inputs. We appreciate everyone. Till we come your way again, folks. Have a good night. The late night show will be back tomorrow. Until then, let's hope we can all add our voices to the national discourse to get Liberia a country better than what it is now. Till we come back, have a good night and bye-bye for now.